Coming in about 3,100 pounds, we got an Eddie Betty Widow toy hauler this morning here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Little 17 RP Wolf Pup. It has been stored inside over the winter, and you can tell the difference. This thing is not oxidized, it's not sun exposed, the weather hasn't torn it up, it's not all moldy and oldie looking. Overall, I'd say she's pretty darn fine. Now this little puppy dog, get it? Wolf pup, puppy dog. Anyway, these are the jokes, people. Extremely well kept. It's actually been indoor stored whenever, like through the harsh winter season, so it doesn't have that really harsh weather exposure that you can sometimes get in the Midwest. And really what's funny is this is still really the Wolf Pup of today. This is the first generation when it changed from the 17RR Wolf Pup of yesteryear into today's 17RP. This was the first iteration of it. And it's sharp. It's got all the right things in all the right places. TV hookups here above this big campsite picture window. And take a look at this mega window in this mini camper. That's a nice contrast right there. Now, at some point, apparently, the folks said, you know, we'd really like to put like a screen wall up over that rear door. And they actually purchased the original Forest River factory parts to put a roll-down tent screen wall there. But, evidently, never installed it. So, if you'd like us to install it for you, we can do that. Or, if you're a handy type person, you can save a couple bucks and do it yourself. But either way, you've got the parts there if you want them. And if you don't, I would just store them off in the side of the garage until you're done with it and, you know, give them to the next person. Kind of say the same thing I just said to you. Now, I prefer to have the ramp down on something like this, but it is early morning and that is facing the sun pretty dramatically, and it made filming in here darn near impossible, so I went ahead and closed it up. What I do want to point out, though, is the transition flap out here. I'll probably re-point it out outside, but it makes loading and unloading nice and easy because the little hump where the door meets the floor, it's kind of smoothed out a little bit. Now this bench right here can fold up against the wall, and that gets it out of the way for loading purposes. And you may notice there's something going on with the skirt down here. That's just a spare tire I slid in there. It's got a full spare tire. Trick with these little mini toy haulers, well really any toy hauler, is you cannot rear mount a spare tire. You have to try to get cute and creative with it. And a lot of times that means it just sort of gets left on the floor on a piece of carpet like you're seeing here. Oh look at that, all the original owner's manuals are up there. I missed that folder my first time through. What you can also do with that spare tire is you can get a tongue mount so that you don't have to like lose interior space or deal with it or anything like that. What is that, like I don't remember the number, like a 3.5 cubic foot fridge or something like that. It does have a freezer pocket in it. It is gas and electric. Now something you'll notice as you go through, again, this was really when the current generation of Cherokee started to really hit, because these guys are a monster success right now, and this is really kind of the launching pad that got them there. This is when they first started doing their thermofoil countertops. This is a sealed edge seamless countertop right here so that water can't like seep in there and cause issues. Now at the time, this age, side mount ACs, well really the little single axle mini campers that we're in, they were just on a resurgence. They were really just coming back to the market after, I don't know, close to, well, about a decade and a half, about 15 years of just not really being around in large mainstream quantity. They became a big-time thing again, and this was on the cusp of that. Well, to keep the overhead clearance a little lower, a lot of brands have gone to a side mount AC. More current Cherokees actually have gone to a bigger full-power roof mount air, and they seem to be more successful than ever for it. But in a little tiny space like this, that is more than enough. Original electronics present and accounted for appear to be working. I believe that is CD stereo only. That's not going to be Bluetooth, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, you know, Green Ray. The next one is, I don't know, Ray. Anyway, get myself back together here. Two-way air vents up here so that if you are loading your toys, a little bit of exhaust gets in here. You can bleed that exhaust out when you're going down the road. Mini kitchenette. Miniature sleeping spaces. It doesn't have any more than it needs to. The kitchen here, what I do like is rather than an oven and a tiny camper that very, very, very few people are going to use, they did throw a microwave down here that probably still not a lot of folks, but more folks are going to use. Now, I've learned to there's indicators I've learned to look for. Like if you look at the sink here, you can see how clean and cleanly that is. Those are the types of indicators I've learned to look for over the years that sort of tell me this is a camper that was very well kept by the previous owners. This front bunk here is funny. One year they would offer it, the next year they wouldn't, then they'd offer it, then they wouldn't, back and forth, and this was obviously one of the years where they offered it. Now, the current new 2019, at the time of this filming anyway, Wolf Pup 17 RPs, they have a bigger, lower bed because the camper did actually grow a little bit. So this is really, I mean, 2 people could sleep on this, but you better be married. If not, there's certain countries where when you're done sleeping on this little bed, technically, according to their rules and regulations, you will be married, so never mind. Now, up here, if you're not going to use this for sleeping, because it is a bit of what I'd call a coffin bunk, easy storage. And what you can also do is take the mattress out and just use it like one big giant drawer. Now, this has a tiny, what's called wet bath, where the toilet and the shower are the same thing. They allow you to do the 3 S's, which is shower, shave, and sit. Gotta be careful how I say that here on the clock. But you can also, reach out of the bathroom and reach over and flip your pancakes, bacon, and eggs. So that's kind of a neat little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 punch combo right there. Quick peek at the roof before we get going on the rest of the exterior. I don't really see anything here that concerns me too awful much. Looks like it's been well kept, clean condition. The seals look good, and that disc looking thing, that's your TV antenna. It's kind of cool. You don't have to crank that up and down, so it's just a little bit easier to use. And really, other than the shape of the nose, you can really see how they kind of got to the current Wolf Pup 17 RP over a few years of minor changes and updates. Like, we still have that outside TV hookup station here right under the main window area. Now up front here we've got a very large storage compartment, but something else I want to point out is when the folks traded this in, they bought a newer, bigger travel trailer and an all-new hitch. They left all of the hitching here with this camper. So this is the full weight distribution hitch and anti-sway system. So if you are trying to save every penny you can, and you are looking in the used market instead of the new market for that reason, which chances are if you're watching this video, that describes you, well, congratulations. Here's between $400 to $500 extra dollars you also don't have to spend. Now, if you have the knowledge and know-how, you can save about an hour's worth of labor to install that yourself. If you'd like us to throw down there for you, that would be about an additional hour labor, but that's something we can't include in a trailer price tag because we don't know your needs, and we don't feel it's right to price gouge somebody who doesn't need it for the sake of someone that does. So I'd rather make that known now here in this video so that you understand and have good expectations before you visit our dealership. That's what these videos are all about, guys, especially on a little used camper, is telling you what it is, what it's not, what's in it for you before you pick up the phone, before you give someone your social security number, before any of that. We're trying to make this simple. Now at a glance, you're looking at this and you're going, ugh, it looks old and plain, and it doesn't have a diamond plate, and yes it does. You just don't realize it. You can, if you get up close here, you can see how here's like normal aluminum skin, and then you can see the texture on this stuff right here. There you go, the camera zooms right in on it. This whole thing right here is extra thick. This whole thing is stone guard. Now, they quit doing it because not enough people could look at, understand, and appreciate this, but the fact is, this entire like 3 or 4 foot span right here is a stone guard instead of a, where's a trailer? Instead of a tiny little stone guard strip, so it's actually got more protection. Oh, this was really one of the first years too where they started offering that little simple solar prep for side mount solar panels. Woo, a lot of alliteration in that one. Dr. Seuss would have been proud. I studied my Seussography before I, never mind. Anyway, this is a 7-wide camper, so it is narrow body, it is easy to see around, it is easy to tow. You have less wind resistance as a result. Now, someone's going to go, yeah, but this thing looks like blunt force trauma up front with this dumb flat nose. Guys, understand, no RVs are really aerodynamically optimized. I don't believe you will see enough wind resistance difference on this versus a new 17 RP with a pretty bullet nose. You're not going to see gas mileage difference because of that. It's just these things are not aerodynamically optimized. It won't matter. Now, when for some reason these things used to only come with rear stabilizer jacks, and I don't understand why. I won't pretend to understand why, but they just didn't. So the previous owner went through and he added the front scissor jacks to make this thing nice and sturdy and stable when you are at your campsite, and I think that was a really smart addition. Whipping around back here, I mentioned it inside. I do want to take a second to talk about it. A second? Huh, wow, neat, I like that. Anyway, transition flap. Again, what it does, guys, is this nice little ditch death right here. It makes it so much easier for loading purposes. You know, one of the best things about these little things, wow, I'm really striking gold on the verbiage this morning, is it sits so low to the ground. You have such an easy loading angle of attack that you're not going to bottom your bike out or your four-wheeler or golf cart or whatever you have. You can load in here no problem. I have actually seen people with something as large as a Can-Am Spyder trike load into this thing. And you have to back into it, and you got to be really careful. I've seen it done, though, and I've seen people complete purchases based on actually testing that here at Haylett RV before they took it home. So, overall, I think we're pretty good. I can't find anything wrong with it. We had the awning out. I didn't get a chance to get a picture of it because I was swapping batteries, and they already had rolled it back up by the time I got back. But awning looks good. You know, all the electronics that came with it are there. Everything seems to be, I mean, they're even leaving a nice hitch setup behind. So, good for you. Congratulations. If you like her, give us a call. Chances are, the last 2 weeks, at the time of this filming, any camper that's come in on trade has stayed in stock for an average of 45 minutes. Minutes! It's insane. So if you like it, I wouldn't wait. And before you go driving 4 hours just to visit our dealership, assuming it's going to be here, guys, please call before you show up, because I understand you're disappointed when you drive 4 hours to come visit our dealership to see a camper that just came in stock, so you're thinking there's no way they'll sell it before we get there. But we roll iron. We sell stuff, and we sell it quick, and we sell it fair. And we've developed a huge reputation for that in a pretty wide radius. I don't know if you heard about this thing called the internet, but we have people talk to us from all over the place every single day. So if you're going to visit us, we look forward to meeting you, but please call ahead of time to make sure the one you're looking to take home is still here. You know, just a word to the wise. And that's true no matter what you're shopping for or who you're shopping for. Make sure it's there before you show up. And if you're really worried about it, put a refundable hold on it. Whatever works for you. And if you're not to that stage and you want to roll the dice, that's fine. But that's totally up to you, and there's the truth of the matter. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.